You are listening to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss our RC adventures.
Welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss the ups and downs of the new RC Flyer. Join your hosts, Michael and Jay, as they take flight at the park. Now on with the show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast. I'm Michael from Arizona, and with me always are my good friends.
Jay from the hills of Texas.
And Shannon G in Mesa AZ.
Welcome to 2024. Did everybody have a good holiday?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely as well. We had a fantastic holiday. I think we took a little hiatus there. Everybody was kind of in and out for holidays, Christmas and New Year's. And I was unfortunately working over all the holidays. But we finally made it back, and we were excited about our 9th season here at the Park Flyer Podcast. And we are happy to have Shannon G as a permanent host with us this year, so that's pretty exciting.
I am as well.
Yeah, it's exciting. Mike has kind of moved to a support role, but he's still in the background, and we appreciate all the stuff that he does for us as well here on the Park Flyer Podcast.
He's behind my door.
Yes, that's right. He's prompting.
We let him out every once in a while.
Let me out.
Exactly. Well, let's see, Jay, just real quick, did you get something for Christmas that was RC related? Didn't you get something? Yes, no?
Well, it was kind of a RC gift to myself.
Okay. Well, I knew you got something.
Yeah. For this upcoming year, I'm going to start trying gas engines, getting away from electric. I know. Ooh. So I got
He's
a
catching
little
the bug.
Yeah. So I got a little gas engine. I'm going to try to get it going and see what that's all about and report back to everybody.
We're very good. All right. Well, that's exciting. So, and then I've still working on RC parts with the new 3D printer. We talked about that last year. And Shannon, did you get any new airplanes or anything over the holidays?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm kind of in the process of getting a few things, but just the holiday was more focused on my daughter, getting her up to college.
Yeah,
so,
which you were successful at. Yeah.
Yes, very successful. Very happy for her. So
very good. Well, very cool. Well, January is a big month. Actually, January, February are big months for us. The very first thing that happens in this new year is Winter Warbirds. Winter Warbirds is kind of something that happens out at my field at the Sun Valley Flyers field. It is on January 25th, 26th, and 27th. And anything Warbird related, whether it's electric or gas or turbine related, if it's a Warbird, then we bring it out and go fly. And I've had kind of mixed successes at Winter Warbirds. My first one was when I got the turbine L39 that didn't do too well. We wound up kind of busting it up. The elevator servos burned up, right? Second year, something else happened. There was a kind of a mishap. And then I think one of my other friends came out with his airplanes and kind of hit the fence or something. So it's one of those things that it's a love-hate relationship for me with Winter Warbirds because I love to go, but
but you're cursed. I got you.
I don't know.
RC curse.
I don't know. I do have kind of an RC curse. It's not anything major, not like what happened with my last one that was Shannon and I put that one in. But hopefully this year will be a good year. I've got my L39 and then actually, funny enough, after all this time, I just received, I guess last week, I just received a big box in the mail, and it's a new set of wings for my Skymaster L39. So they took a long time to build, but they finally got me a new set of wings. And that's kind of what happened at when I flew that Skymaster at the Winter Warbirds a couple of years ago. We lost the servos in the back of it. So now I do have the ability to put that one all back together. And so hopefully that'll be a new project for this year. So we're excited about that. Second thing happens. So if you're in town in Phoenix, make sure you attend Winter Warbirds. You can go to the Sun Valley Flyers website. I think it's sunvalleyflyers.com.
And I will be out there with you.
Yep, we'll be out there, so we'll touch base and try to get some, podcast fodder for that.
Yeah. Is Harry coming?
I believe Harry said he was coming out to Winter Warbirds, so hopefully he'll be here as well. Normally he hangs out with me, but he hasn't really reached out. He just said he thought he was coming, so maybe he'll buzz me and ask me if he can stay. Let's see what else. The Arizona Electric Festival, that is coming up February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and everybody's coming out for that. It's a big year, and
20th anniversary.
Yeah, so Mike has already got his tickets. He texted me yesterday, said he's coming. Jay and I were just talking about his travel to get here as well, and the only caveat this year is me, because I took the whole week off, and I'm all excited because it's the 20th anniversary, and I opened up my mailbox a couple of days ago and got a jury summons. So, and it's federal, so it's the entire week. I have to be on call for the entire week. So I'm just like, oh, are you kidding me? So I may have to slip out one of those days, and it actually starts on Monday, and we don't really get there until Wednesday. So hopefully I can go Monday or Tuesday and do the thing, and who knows.
Well, and they usually don't have it on Friday. Usually like federal cases, they don't work on Friday.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Probably be all right.
Yeah, I should be all right. So the only day I'm really worried about is Thursday. So it's set up so Thursday. But we're providing security. I think this time we're taking the RV out, and we'll be hanging out in there and watching everybody. And a lot of big plans. You mentioned earlier. It's kind of we had a episode last year on what was going on. But any updates to anything that you want to add?
Yeah, the sponsorships have been coming in fast and furious. Just got word from eFlux RC. They're sending a nice care package. We got the stuff from Horizon already. Horizon's been a huge supporter of the event, and those guys love coming out and having a good time showing off. We've got a lot of new sponsorship. We've got Castle Creations coming back after a long time. Hobby Wing. Sending the care package, a couple other sponsors that I've got a whole list on the AEF Facebook page. But I think this is going to be a lot of fun. We're my good buddy Eddie that does my shirts. We're kind of revamping the AEF logo for the 20th. We've been doing like a different plane every year. This time we're going to just do like a full color, like glorifying the AEF logo, not focus on a plane so much, but just doing that. So he's going to put that together, and we'll have some awards. Of course, we'll have our noon show. We got some good food vendors lined up too. We had just had Famous Hot Dogs at Scale Masters, and they did a really good job. And we're going to have Moss Kitchen. I think they're doing a pasta bar. So we have a couple of food choices, have some vendors. We'll have Superstition Hobbies, Zap, longest sponsor of our event, probably a couple others. I'm just really looking forward to it. 20 years, that's a milestone for any event.
It is.
And I'm trying to get some traction with the local media, say, hey, this event's been on 20 years, it's going strong, come on out and see us. So that's where we're at. And I just got a new fresh of these.
There you go.
See the video. Stickers. It's our AEF 20th anniversary logo. This isn't, this is just the original logo. I just put a little 20th on there to make it somewhat official. But
that was very cool.
It's, all the pilots get those. So
well, that's nice.
So I got all kinds of. I got pins. Technically the first 40 online registrations get those, but the first 40 people will get them. That's what I got. I got about 40 of them. So you guys will get one, of course.
Yeah, well, I'm already registered. I'm already registered. So
you're already registered. That's right.
I was like sitting there, like, okay, I got to be one of the first ones, and then I'm checking, and I'm like, man, he hasn't opened it yet. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh no. He opened it and I'm working. So when I came home, I ran in here and registered. So
one of my good friends, Rick Huerta, he was so excited. He registered twice.
Oh, did he?
By accident.
This year or next year?
He's like, did I register?
This year, I'm going to.
He's like, did I register twice? I'm like, yeah, you did. I guess I can give you that back.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we're excited to kind of help out as well. We're actually changing our colors. Our Park Flyer podcast colors have always been blue and orange. And this year, I think we're going with a little bit different color. And so we have some shirts being printed up as well. And I think we're going to throw some of those in there for pilot raffle stuff too. So
Sweet.
we're excited about that. And logo stays the same, but the color choice is different. And so we'll probably try to get some of those out on the, for sale or whatever we can do, and help us, kind of fund the podcast.
So do we have enough money in the budget?
I'm just looking
to get one of those cannons.
What budget?
Shirt cannons.
Yeah.
I was
on the corner. I did pretty good on the corner last night. Yeah. I needed help. I had all the sign help. Podcast needs help. I got a few bucks.
Podcast. Yeah, we need donations. I don't know. I'd have to look and see if we had a T-shirt cannon. I don't even know how to make them. Let's see if they have those. But that would be pretty funny.
I'm sure there's something on YouTube's.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, you could probably find it.
Oh, we used to use those water balloon launchers. Before the.
Right.
Yeah, those are always fun to use for.
That'd be funny.
T-shirts too.
Yeah.
So, I'm just looking forward to all of us being together and sitting down, doing it face to face. So that's
true too.
Ever since you guys kind of, came out of the shadows and said, hey, we've been here.
Yeah.
Like, well, why didn't you say anything?
That's true.
Now look where we are.
I know, right?
So
well, and then I'm all excited too because for the last however many years, Shannon has had the most awesome lounge chairs at the Electric Festival
too. We've got them.
And I went out to the event with Shannon last time and totally wound up forgetting them because I called Shannon. I said, hey, where do you get these chairs? Because we only had the blue fold out chairs and they're all kind of crappy. But Shannon's are like nice. They're real comfortable. And we always wind up sitting in Shannon's chairs until he walks up and we feel guilty and get out. But so I got us all chairs this year. And so we're all excited. So now we'll have enough for us and a guest if we need one, he can sit down. But it's always kind of nice to have those big fat, kind of cushy chairs. So I'm excited. So now they're actually loaded, so I don't forget them this time.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, Shannon brought his, and then I was like, "Oh man, I forgot those. I bought 3 of them, and I didn't bring any of them." So yeah, I'm excited about that. Well, we are very excited about the 20th anniversary. It is a big deal, and then you mentioned last time, just kind of mentioned it again. We talked about the type of airplanes. I remember on one of the last episodes you were talking about, maybe some vintage type planes that.
Yeah, so I'm asking people if they've got anything from the way back days of AEF when we were still probably flying NICADs and brushed motors. Hey, if you got something that's still working, bring it out, and we'll have like a little. We always do the noon show with the gaggles.
Right.
We do a little gaggle of vintage RC electric stuff. So
that would be very
put
cool.
the word out on our social media to get that going. But now we got a lot of guys. We got a lot of local guys. It's like, okay, yeah, bring out the old stuff. It still flies. It's still legal.
Right,
so
right. Well, that'll be exciting.
Mike, you still have a bunch of those GWS planes, right?
I do. I do have a couple GWS airplanes. Most of them are in kits, so maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll grab an old GWS kit that I have because we got a whole stack of them, and maybe we can raffle it off as kind of a vintage, a little foam. Because I think they're. Matter of fact, they're sitting. I don't know if you could probably see them. There's 2 of them right there. One of them is like an AJ. I thought we gave one away at one point, but anyway, yeah. If I'm not going to be able to get to them and build them, I'll see what I can do. I've got some time this month, just kind of hanging out, so maybe I can whip one of those together real quick. So finish up some of the ones that I have. But I have the Fun Fly is the one we talked about last time that I have.
Yep.
So it's a P-51. I just don't want to. I mean, I've had that thing for years and years and years, almost since Jay and I first started flying. Again, we flew in college, but we started flying again. When was that? 2, 3, somewhere around 3, 4 when you came out to the house from Vegas. And anyway, we wound up with that one. So it's been there a long time, and it's still in pristine condition. So I don't want to wind up with a big pile of foam. It's kind of actually Jay gave it to me, so that's why it's kind of a sitting up on the shelf. But I'll see. I'll take it down and see if we can get it running. All right, let's see what else comes on. Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke is in April. That's on the 5th and 6th, and I think there's some updates on that for you as well, right? There's a first time. in a while?
Yeah, so Gunsmoke is a scale competition, and this year what we've done is we've changed which rules we're going under. So we're going under the AMA's NASA. I forget that it's national something scale rules.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple of different scale competition guidelines. There's Scale Masters, which is what Gunsmoke was for years. Now we switched to NASA, and we've kind of done it just to simplify. There were some things that with Tim Dickey, he's actually on the FAI U.S. scale team this year.
Oh, very cool.
So he's going to I think it's is it Hungary? I think it's Hungary he's going to for the world competition this summer. So he's really involved, with scale now. He kind of, he's only been in the hobby like 5-6 years. I mean, he came in guns blazing, and now he's like kind of at the top of the game as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
So really proud of him. He's a good guy, and he'll be out there, of course, at AEF and at Gunsmoke. He runs the Gunsmoke here, so we're doing that. The scale rule, all the scale groups, they do still kind of interact and intermingle. So if you qualify, and what Scale Masters is a qualification event where you go out and you compete, you build your plane or bring whatever plane you got and whatever class you go in. There's several classes, we've talked about those before. You fly, a series of maneuvers. There's changes in the maneuvers. Actually, it kind of simplifies what you can, like flaps. Like using your flaps is considered a maneuver.
Right.
Where it wasn't in one of the other ones. So things like that. And but we're getting many of the same judges because it's not enough of a change that if you do one you can't do the other. It's pretty intuitive, just that they all work together.
Right.
So but we're just kind of streamlining it and simplifying it. And we're also doing the same thing again as we did last year, where if it's your first time competing in a scale competition, we're going to waive the entry fee.
Oh, very nice.
Which is really cool. Yeah. So if you've never competed in Gunsmoke or any verifiable, we're looking to get the new guys, or maybe somebody who did it 30 years ago wants to get back into it or something. But pretty much, we're looking for the newbies to get them in there, because it's, there's a lot of stigma, like, oh, you got to be, uber rich or uber special to do this. It's like, no, anybody can do this. I mean, I did it last year. I mean, I competed in Scale Masters. I got a trophy now.
Right.
It's like, so it's like, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Trust me. And I did it with a foamy. And, you can do a foamy, but you can do a lot with a foamy these days. It's all good.
Hey,
so
real quick, while you're mentioning that, what is the so the building portion? I totally understand, right? You mentioned earlier that you have a picture and you build an airplane that looks like it, and they look and see if it's all the same. But then you mentioned that there's a flying portion of it as well, right? So what is there certain maneuvers you have to do with the airplane, or you have to fly it?
Yeah, there's a standard set of maneuvers, like you got to take off and landing.
Right.
You got to do a figure eight,
like
a missed approach.
When you say figure eight, you're talking about like a Cuban eight, or a figure eight meaning
no, like a horizontal figure eight.
Okay.
Come in from the left, come around, turn around to the right.
Yeah. So it's like an eight on a pylon kind of thing out there, like a
exactly. Yeah, eight pylon. Try to call it a figure eight. What else? They do like a flyby, just a scale flyby on the edge of the runway. And you've got to stay away from the runway. I got dinged on that myself.
Oh, right.
I did my flyby like right on the edge of the runway.
Right.
Like, oh, you're over the runway.
Right. Okay.
But so there's a set of I think there's like 5 standard maneuvers you have to do. And then it's 10 total.
10 total maneuvers.
Yeah.
So you do 5 standard, and then you could do whatever else.
Pick your 5.
Right. Okay.
And then there's usually the choice of flying it as an aerobatic plane or a non-aerobatic plane. So like with me, I flew my Cessna, non-aerobatic Cessna 170. If you flew like, if you had a scale version of your extra, you could fly aerobatic.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's funny, because you know what I was thinking, right, Jay?
No, I usually have a good thing for guessing what you're thinking, but
Well, yeah, but it's been so long. But the yak that you got.
Oh, yeah, that's another gift of mine, another Christmas gift, I think.
Yeah. So I used to own a Yak 55, a real one, right?
Right.
And anyway, Jay bought me. I actually wound up selling it when I got the extra, and so I sold my Yak 55, and I was actually in a partnership with it, but we sold it, and it became the Yak 110, which is what they did. They put the two Yaks together. But I was part owner in the other one, and so Jay bought me this Yak 55. It was like a 60 size Yak 55, and it came and it was like yellow and orange, or yellow and red, or something
like that.
Ugly color. So he goes, "Hey, I got you something." I showed this big box shows up, and I open it up, and it's this horrific color. So right as I was undoing the plastic, I just ripped the cover.
Yep.
I ripped the covering completely off of it. So when I took a picture, Jay gets this photo of just all these balsa pieces that have no covering, no nothing. And Jay's like, "What?" He goes, "I thought that was a whole airplane. It's a kit?" And then I gave him another picture of this big pile of monocoats sitting in the corner. It was just stripped off. And he was like, "Okay, I don't know what you're doing, but that's not how you're not supposed to unwrap the whole thing like that, right?" But I made it to look exactly like my real size Yak. So it looks identical.
Okay, then if I'm sure you've got plenty of pictures of your real size Yak, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I took pictures of 400 million pictures just over the life of it, and for annuals and stuff, and so everything, even the star on the front and everything, looks identical. So
you definitely that would be perfect, because you one of the things you have to do is, if there's variations between like the full scale plane and your scale plane, you can explain those. You can document, okay, I had to do this because it's a model and I can't do it on the real one or on the model one, vice versa.
Okay.
So that's, and since you have firsthand knowledge, I mean, when you're talking to the static judges, and they ask questions, you definitely would be able to answer them. So you've got
that is kind of neat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's something for me to think about. So
yeah, definitely.
I even actually put a 3-bladed prop on it and painted the prop to look like the one on the real airplane as well. So
and that's the other cool thing. Like, so you can have just a static scale prop for static judging and fly with whatever prop you want.
Oh, it'll fly with the 3-blade.
Okay.
I've actually flown it.
I'm just saying.
Okay. It does really well.
A lot of guys, though.
But yeah, I totally understand. They'll put a 5-bladed prop, and it doesn't. It's just not really efficient for electric. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of cool too. Well, that is very cool. I think Gunsmoke, and it's exciting that you guys are going to be able to have that. So I'm interested in definitely seeing more about that and hearing more about it. So
yeah, and maybe I could bring Tim on one time and he can talk about it.
Yeah, we can do that.
Good guest. I know he'd love to do that.
Sure.
So I'll set him up.
Well, we're going to try this year to get a few more guests. Our setups are a little bit better now. I mean, I know we've had a couple in the past, and Shannon knows a lot of people that can come out, and they seem to like it and have fun on the podcast. And it's not like we all have to be in one place at one time. So that's a good thing for us. One of the things I forgot, I totally skipped, was the Warbirds and Classics. Warbirds and Classics is kind of the old 1/8 Air Force. The 1/8 Air Force used to have an event all the time, and I think, I'm not really sure, I wasn't really part of the the cadre when that kind of whole thing kind of decided to fade away, or whatever happened to it. I'm not really sure what happened, but one of the guys that was intimately familiar with the 1/8 Air Force kind of started the Warbirds and Classics last year, and he had a very, very successful first event. As a matter of fact, I think he was expecting 20 pilots, and he got like 50. So he was like, "Oh man," he was asking people, "Oh yeah, we're going to do this little Warbirds and Classic," and I think he got way more than he was expecting. So.
It was more than 50. I was there too. Yeah,
it was. Yeah. I think he had 50 registered when I talked to him, but maybe he had more that came in after the fact.
Oh yeah, more came in. It was probably close to 80.
Because I know that he was talking. Yeah, and I know he was talking about, because the banquet, he had a banquet, and he was like trying to sell tickets, and he told me, he was like, "Yeah, man, we thought we were going to have 30, and we wound up with like 58 or something," and then there were more people. So yeah, he was scrambling. But we had an auction and some other stuff, and it worked out real well. And it's on March. It's actually before Gunsmoke, so it's March 14th through 17th. It is also out at Sun Valley Flyers. They do a really good job. I'll tell you that last year when we went, the meal was incredible. He served like filet mignon and, potatoes, and just, it was crazy. It was really, really good. She does a really good job putting all that together. So, but so yeah, for the first couple of months, I guess that covers almost the first quarter, right? January through April. There's a lot of events.
There's a bunch of other events. Yeah. Not even ones we mentioned. There's the AMPS, Arizona Model Pilot Society. They have a Green Fest, kind of a similar electric event in March, and Kyle does a great job running that. We're we talking all the time. I'm glad other people are doing electric events. I don't have a monopoly on Valley Electric events. I'm just glad we're all doing them. So
yeah, and it's kind of fun. I mean, it's kind of the next big thing. I know for Jay and I, we made fun of everybody having gas and turbines and all that stuff, and we never thought we'd ever get into that stuff.
Going back
now, we're kind of falling back into it. The electrics are awesome. We love them. I have more fun at the Electric Festival, I think, than any of the other events. But I think that's just because we have a soft spot in our heart for the AZF when all of us get together.
I appreciate that.
So, and it's a good time. I mean, that's the one that Jay usually comes out for, and Mike, and so we get to kind of hang out all week, which is not usual. It's normally either me and you going, or sometimes Mike comes down and go to an event, or I wind up going to an event with Barry. But this 20-year anniversary for the AZF is exciting for us. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Hopefully, we won't get stuck in a weeks-long trial.
Cross your fingers.
Well, this is just the selections, so that's pretty decent. They the way they worded it basically was that I'm on call all week, so I have to call and see if I have to come in for jury selection, and if they don't have anything, then I don't have to go in. But then if I do come in, I'm only on the hook for one appearance. So if they call me on Monday and I go sit all day on Monday and they don't pick me, then I'm good to go. So, and normally if they do pick you, the trial's not that day, it's later down the road. They just do the jury selection. So I know Jay's talking about the yin and yang of our lives,
like sands through the hourglass.
I'm a big karma guy. What can I say?
He is a big karma guy. He's all the time telling me, that this month your yin came in, next month your yang is coming. So, but the good news is my yang.
Where are we for February, Jay?
Well, for February we should be the yin because I lost a turbine this one, so he said that was your yang.
Okay.
It's the first time I've lost any airplane in many, many years, and to have that happen, he just was like, ugh. So,
so I said, let's go to Vegas. But no.
Yeah, that's what he told me when I sent him the picture. He goes, "Oh, time to go to Vegas because you're you're in that circle. You're coming back around." It was funny. So, well, I am very, very excited for this year's Park Flyer podcast. We have obviously with the new host, we've got some other options, and Shannon's kind of jumping into that social media, so you may see more of our posts and stuff. He's going to try and do some of that. Jay and I are still kind of chugging along with the new shop going on and several new projects. I have more projects now than I think I know what to do with, and Jay just keeps shoving them over here. He keeps saying, what you really need now. I have to watch him. At some point I have to finish some of this stuff. I still have a bunch of airplanes under here. All those boxes are airplanes that I got to go build. And then there's a whole group in the garage behind me that needs to be built too. So I have plenty of projects to be able to do. So looking forward to that. Man, I'm looking forward to a new year. What about you, Jay? Got anything exciting coming up other than the Electric Fest? You're coming out for that, but you guys have been flying at your field at all?
Well, I haven't had a chance to fly. Unfortunately, Jim's under the weather, so my flying buddy's been down. But coming up for this year, I have a couple of plane projects, a couple of glider conversions. Once again, from old brush systems to some brushless systems that we'll probably talk about. I acquired a laser, so I'm trying to see how that can help me in this hobby. So more on that a little later. What Very else? Cool. There's something else I got. Well, what we need, and my jumping into gas.
Yeah, I was going to say, what we need to do this year? I need to take some time, come down there, and we need to finish that Telemaster. That thing is I think that'd be cool to have that big.
It's one of the all-time favorite planes.
Yeah,
Telemaster.
and he's got a 12-foot Telemaster sitting in the back there.
Over there in the corner.
It's a senior Telemaster he got.
Oh man,
it's been there. It is.
There it is.
It's been sitting there, and
love those planes.
And I keep telling him, I'm like, man, we need to get that in there and finish that up. So
yeah,
if he gets that one, and then this Cessna, they're both about the same size. So I want to get them out to the Electric Festival and fly them one time. Or at least, show them.
Yeah.
Both of us want to fly at the same time. Those two big birds in the air. We've had that happen before and lost P-51 over that day, didn't we? Jay and I had out of all the things, Jay and I have flown together a ton. And I had a 3D Hobby Shop Extra, and I had a one of those foam P-51s from whatever company it was. And so Jay was flying that, and I was flying the Extra, and we were up there, and I said, hey, we should fly formation. He said, yeah. So he does this real quick turn. At the same time, I did the opposite way turn, and we just collided. And foam went everywhere. I mean, it just was like raining foam. And he looked at me, and I was like, how the heck did we hit each other? I mean, there was nobody in this guy.
With the wings where we're like, hey, hit each other. We can't.
Yeah, we fly combat wings.
$1,000 if you hit me. Flying all around each other.
Just a quick
totally
turn, totally random. Anyway, it wound up totally destroying. I actually got the Extra back. I landed it because it was balsa wood. But it flew right through that foam airplane and chopped it into
like
a million
butter.
It's pretty funny. That was a long time ago, but we've learned our lessons since. So
yeah. What I'm doing is I've got a few planes that I got a paint booth that I'm going to refinish. I got a bunch of my free wing planes that I got the T-33. I got a good deal on, and I'm going to refinish it in some Canadian colors. I had some really cool decals that I just happened to come across. And
very cool.
I should have it ready for AEF, but it'll pop in the sky. It'll look really nice.
Oh, nice.
And, I got a few other planes I'm looking at doing stuff like that too. But
well, very nice.
Wait, see.
We're gonna. We'll have to give us some updates. So we'll wrap it up today. But I'm Michael here in Arizona,
and I'm Jay from the hills of Texas,
and Shannon G in Mesa AZ.
Well, welcome to 2024. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
That's fine.
You have been listening to the Park Flyer Podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to your next visit. Please give our show a star rating and review, and feel free to email us your questions, topics, or suggestions to parkflyerpodcast@gmail.com.